Welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, a fellow subscriber passed on to me the headline that is before your eyes. This is from August 13th, 2016. Robert De Niro compares Donald Trump to taxi driver character. He's totally nuts. This happened at the Sarajevo Film Festival where they began the ceremony by showing the film Taxi Driver. If you've never seen the film, it came out in the year 76. It's about a taxi driver in New York City, a young man played by Robert De Niro, who's losing his mind because he thinks the world around him is crazy. And it's set in the time of a presidential election. Robert De Niro's character finds himself in love with this woman who's campaigning for a man who's running for president. The film flirts with the ideas of political assassination. Robert De Niro's character is based on the real life Arthur Bremer, who shot George Wallace in 1972, 44 years ago. George Wallace was running for president. It's said that George Wallace has been paralyzed ever since that shooting. It ended his campaign for president, the assassination attempt. So the movie Taxi Driver, based on a real-life assassin, and is a retelling of that story with a different focus. All year, I've been showing the parallels between this movie and headlines with Donald Trump. You might recall in February in Kalamazoo, Michigan, there was the Uber driver shooting. That shooting was a staged media hoax. It was a tribute to the film Taxi Driver, the same film we're talking about. In that film, De Niro's character drives a checker cab in New York City. Checker cab was produced in Kalamazoo for many years, opened and closed its doors by the numbers. So just get this. It's August 13th, 2016. We're coming up on Election Day, which is November 8th this year. 11/8 as it's written in most parts of the world. Death in Jewish gematria sums to 118. Lincoln was assassinated once in history after being reelected November 8th by an actor in a theater. Let's not forget that part. Did he even really die? How come there's no real pictures of Lincoln? How come Lincoln is nothing but drawings when he lived in a time when there were cameras? Questions we should ask. People will say it's because it was the time of the Civil War. There was so much hatred for him. His stuff was destroyed. That doesn't add up. Anyhow, Robert De Niro on August 13th, after what I've been documenting for literally all of 2016 about Taxi Driver and Donald Trump, all year, news pundits have been comparing Donald Trump to George Wallace, who was assassinated. A lot of pundits have said Donald Trump is running the most bigoted campaign, the most hate-filled campaign since George Wallace, shot 44 years earlier. The word kill in gematria equals 44, a number connected to the death of every president in office. Also, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are trying to become the 44th person to be president. Right now, Obama's number 44, but he's really only the 43rd person because Grover Cleveland counted as 22 and 24, so the count's been off ever since. Hillary and Donald trying to become the 44th person to be president, a fateful number. So yesterday was August 13th, a date written 13/8, a lot like 138. Donald Trump equals 138. You know, on this day, De Niro compares the film that he starred in to Donald Trump. He's saying the character he played, a crazy man, is like Donald Trump. Last week we were getting the headlines about should there be, Donald Trump, was he suggesting that there should be an assassination on Hillary? Again, to remind you, the Taxi Driver movie has Gematria 58, just like Freemasonry, just like Trump Tombstone. This year, on Easter Sunday, there was a tombstone in Central Park with Donald Trump's name on it. Did a lot of work on that. All predictive programming for what might be to come. Taxi Driver in simple English gematria sums to 130, just like Washington. We're talking about a federal election for office in Washington. The gematria of totally nuts, the other phrase emphasized up here, Taxi Driver, totally nuts. Totally nuts sums to 179, which is the 41st prime number. 41 is the 13th prime number. USA equals 41. The USA began with 13 colonies. 41, the 13th prime, 13 stripes on the flag, 13 years in public education. Totally nuts in Pythagorean gematria also sums to 44, like the kill number, like the number of years from George Wallace to 2016, taxi driver based on the assassin who shot George Wallace. Down in the description, I do this for each video. I link my blog posts. I'm going to link this blog post, and within it, I have links to all of these articles that I've written over the months. All of this is about Taxi Driver, Jodie Foster, Donald Trump. Jodie Foster's in the movie Taxi Driver. She's a young girl. The Ronald Reagan assassination attempt was done by John Hinckley, supposedly to impress the young Jodie Foster. John Hinckley, just 2 weeks ago, headlines about him being released from, state custody. He's been in a mental institution. I think that's predictive programming. Ronald Reagan assassination attempt, Taxi Driver, a movie about this, John Hinckley, Jodie Foster about to turn 54 years old. You go through and read these posts, you'll find out why that's significant. So Robert De Niro, he opens the Sarajevo Film Festival. What I notice about this is in gematria it sums to 99. The United States of America equals 99. When you write out the number 13 as a word, it sums to 99. We're talking about the significance of 13. It is the number of the, Illuminati order, the Bavarian Illuminati that's credited with the French Revolution that was established just before the American Revolution that is coded all over this nation's existence. Almost all the numbers we're talking about here have numerology that breaks down to 13 and then to 4. I don't think it's any coincidence that this tribute comes from this festival on this date. Sarajevo alone sums to 91 in simple English gematria. If you add every number up to 13, 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to 13, it sums to 91. De Niro, in his remarks, says this. According to De Niro, the Sarajevo Festival was born during a dark and dangerous time to counter the butchering of war with a celebration of art and humanity. 6 years later, on September 11th in 2001, my own New York neighborhood was attacked, and we started the Tribeca Film Festival as a gesture of hope, resilience, and defiance, he added. These remarks were made yesterday, which is the 9th of Av, or Tisha B'Av on the Jewish calendar. This is their holy day remembering the destruction of their two temples in Jerusalem. Jerusalem, which has a USA right in the middle. Their day of tragedy in gematria sums to 911. The United States of America was created by what we now call Zionist Jews. It's always been run by them. It's why we got our big day of tragedy and sadness on September 11th, because this is exactly what their holiday is. And all year, while I've been talking about Donald Trump, I've been talking about how they might use a staged assassination to provoke people to create a bigger incident as another national tragedy. The powers that be, the Freemasons, they believe in divide and conquer, order through chaos. They create divisive news stories to rile up the people, to divide them, to organize them, and then use them against each other, making us all easier controlled. And they do it all by the numbers. This is why they got Robert De Niro at this film festival making these remarks. I thought earlier this year, May 23rd might be the day for Donald Trump. May 23rd, after that day passed, I said the next day to look for is August 22nd. We are approaching that. This remark was made 9 days before August 22nd. Something else I want to talk about. Late August 12th, this became the top story, and it carried through the story on August 13th, Donald Trump Day, 13/8 Donald Trump. He made this remark, if I lose PA, they cheated. And CNN kept this up as their front page story for more than 12 hours with that headline. In gematria, that headline sums to 106. Also 97, Civil War 97, Prophecy 106. Remember, the Democratic National Convention was in Philadelphia, the city named from Revelation, the book of prophecy. It began exactly 106 days before the election. Prophecy equals 106. On this same day, earlier in the day, they released that Hillary Clinton had made $10.6 million in the last year, mostly with speaking revenue. Further proving my point that all of these stories are contrived propaganda by the numbers. Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, these people are nothing but fronts, phonies, fakes, frauds, puppet stooges for the New World Order agenda, which is what they represent. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, neither of them were born with that name. Bill Clinton was born Bill Blythe. They were brought into this Clinton family, which is a political dynasty going back to the beginning of the nation. George Clinton, one of the founders of the nation. The date of these headlines, August 12th, 2016, a date with 56 numerology. President, a word with gematria 56. Also 47, Hillary born in 47. This subheadline, Clinton releases tax returns while GOP rival does not. Gematria of 211, the 47th prime. These are headlines having to do with the presidency, running for president. The numbers coded into the headline, Your Move, Mr. Trump, 253. These numbers have been coded next to Donald Trump in regards to assassination all year. It's why I was looking at the date May 23rd, 5/23. August 22nd is the 235th day this year. I find it interesting that number's in these headlines. This headline came the day before Tisha B'Av, the holiday of tragedy. In simple English gematria, that also sums to 82. So does the word Armageddon, destruction. It's the day of remembrance for the destruction of the temples in Jerusalem. Jerusalem equals 104. 7/4/1776 has numerology of 104. The new World Trade Center in New York, One World Trade Center, is 104 stories tall, 1,776 feet. 17 plus 76 is 93. The number for Saturn, the keeper of time. One World Trade Center in gematria sums to 93. The Zionist state of Israel, where Jerusalem is, drawn up on September 3rd, 9/3 in the year 47. Their Congress is Knesset. Knesset equals 93. Their current speaker is Edelstein. Edelstein 93. Saturn, the keeper of time. The Kabbalists, the Zionist Jews, operating by occult knowledge such as numerology, gematria, Saturn. This is why it's all coded this way, day after day in the headlines. Mr. Trump alone has gematria of 119. Mr. Trump, all-seeing eye equals 119, Star of David. Hillary and Donald Trump are both Zionist stooges. Your Move broken down sums to 44. Again, Hillary and Donald trying to be the 44th person to be president. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. So does Hillary's maiden name. Her birthday comes 87 days before Inauguration Day. Clinton equals 87. Birthday equals 87. 87 days before Inauguration Day. Pretty sure we're looking at our next president, Hillary. Here's the 10.6 million. The whole story is by the numbers, prophecy numbers. They're on par with the effective 32% rate, throughout the nation. America 32, average 32, college 32, career 32. That's what this school's about. Go to school, get indoctrinated, finish, go to work, pay your taxes, don't question anything, eat junk food, sit on your ass, spend your money, watch TV. Welcome to America. The first state in the U.S. established December 7th, 1787, a date with 106 numerology. The Zionist state of Israel recognized November 29th, 1947, a date with 106 numerology. It says her and Bill made 6.7 million. Remember Time magazine when Hillary was 67, when she announced her campaign, said she was the perfect age to run for office as a woman. Female equals 67, International Women's Day, 67th day of the year. She released 39 years worth of tax returns. 39 is the number in New York. NY in simple English gematria, 39. New York, 39. Empire, 39. Date of establishment, 39 numerology. The United Nations, there's 39 floors tall. So think about it. Gematria encoding, date numerology encoding, building architecture encoding. Freemasons, builders, measurers, created our language, our calendar. George, the name of the first governor there, George equals 39. George Clinton, born 1739, first governor of the state of New York. He was born July 26th, just like New York was established July 26th. It was established when he was 49 years old. The number of Revelation, 726 connects to Revelation. and more. Revelations based on the 39 books of the Old Testament. Since the beginning of this nation, it's been the same code. The Revelation Prophecy Jewish code, you could call it. From beginning to present. So please go back and read all this information. Go back and watch all the videos I put out about Taxi Driver, Donald Trump. By the numbers, Robert De Niro says Donald Trump, the character from Taxi Driver. The same people who run your government are the same people who run your media are the same people who run Hollywood. I've said who that is a million times in this video. When you write out the word they, it has the same gematria as 58 as Freemasonry. They equals 58 equals Freemasonry equals secret society equals United States. This is a Masonic Jewish nation from the beginning, by the numbers. You want to watch a good movie? Watch They Live. The reason it's good is because it's exactly about what we're talking about. When you have the eyes to see, when you have the knowledge, you'll miss what's right in front of your face every single day.